Tristan Stubbs is a young middle-order South African batsman that has played some explosive innings in the white ball game, primarily making his name on the franchise scene. He has elevated himself to international level, representing South Africa in T20 and 50-over cricket. His power, age and free-flowing stroke play has seen him recently break into the Test side, with South Africa willing to back the youngster's potential rather than his long-form stats. As he continues to grow on the world stage, he'll be analysing his batting style and technique. Stubbs typically sets up with an open stance on leg stump. As the bowler is in their delivery stride, he moves the back foot deep into the crease. As the ball is released, the front foot moves back. From this base position, he moves forward or back depending on the length. On this occasion, he lofts the ball to the offside. But it's important to note that in white ball cricket, Stubbs likes to premeditate and use a more obvious back and across trigger. When playing conventional cricket, such as test matches, we can see that he tends to hold his batting stance and simply transfers the weight forward or back depending on the length. Being a modern day batsman, Stubbs has the ability to play innovative cricket. In this first example, from his open stance, he steps his front foot further outside of leg when the bowler is in their delivery stride. He has also turned his bat face to the third man region. From here, he brings the hands low, then back to high. While bringing the hands high into position, he simultaneously plants his front foot across his stumps. He keeps a still head position and has an excellent bend of the knees that allows him to get low on the ball. Stubbs goes on to play an excellent reverse hit to the third man region. In this next example, Stubbs premeditates by planting his back foot back and across outside off stump. From here, he squares up by stepping the front foot onto the line of off stump and then plants the back leg further out wide of off stump. He positions the bat low to face towards leg. Stubbs transfers the weight onto the back leg as he begins to stand up straight. This allows him to get beside the ball to access fine on the leg side. He continues to lean the weight to the offside as he flicks the ball. When playing conventional cricket, Stubbs typically picks the bat up towards first slip. As the ball is released, the bat lowers towards third slip. As Stubbs picks the length, he picks the bat towards his head position with the bat face pointing towards the point region. As he goes through the bat swing, the bat comes behind his head and then the hands come through. When playing the conventional off drive, Stubbs sets up with a slightly open stance. As he spots the length, he simply moves onto the front foot and plays the drive under his eyes. He has a good bend of the knees and his body is pointing in the direction he wants to hit the ball. What is interesting to see is how the back leg slightly collapses after he plays the shot. In this next example, as the ball is released, Stubbs moves onto the front foot, utilising an excellent bend of the knees to get momentum on the drive. He opens the face of the bat as he extends his arms through. Stubbs has a dominant bottom hand which sees the leg side being his main hitting zone when launching the ball for boundaries. In this first example, he has a big back and across movement across his stumps. Planting the back foot outside off, he then brings the front foot across as he sits deep in the crease. All the movements happen before the ball is bowled. From here, he sits the weight onto the back leg as he opens up into the power hit position. The back leg slightly collapses as the hips open up. Although the ball is wide, Stubbs' bottom hand takes over as he swipes the ball powerfully over long on. In this second example, we again see Stubbs move back and across to get deep into the crease. This time he stands on middle and off. He sits the weight on the back leg as he begins to clear the front leg into the power hit position. The back leg collapses slightly to allow the rotation of the hips, which in turn allow his arms and hands to come through, from which he smashes the ball through the leg side. In this third example, Stubbs keeps a steady stance position. He simply plants the front foot down the pitch as he opens up into the power hit position. He has a deep bend of the knees, and from here, once again, he slightly collapses the back leg to rotate the hips through so that he can power the ball over the leg side. Against spin, Stubbs' most productive shot is the slog sweep. He initially sets up with a slightly open stance, and as the ball is released, he has a front foot press. He clears the front foot as he gets low down into the sweep position. Using a high back lift, he continues to collapse the back leg as the arms come through. By clearing the front leg, it helps set up his position to allow the arms to swing through. In this next example, we see the same process to the slog sweep. He has a front foot press as the ball is released. The front foot clears and the back leg collapses. This allows for the free swing of the arms to powerfully slog sweep the ball. With its ability to sweep the spinners, the bowlers look to go fuller. As a result, it allows Stubbs to target down the ground. Stubbs has the initial front foot press, and he then clears the front foot to get into the power hit position. He spots the further length, and rather than collapse the back leg to get low to sweep, he brings the back leg closer in line with the front leg to allow for the downswing of the bat to come through straight. Stubbs' main weakness is that he pushes with hard hands away from the body outside off stump. This was recently exposed in the Test series against the West Indies. As Stubbs spots the fuller length, he moves onto the front foot. What we can see is that Stubbs' head position is outside the line of off stump, indicating he has lost where his off stump is. His head is on the false stump line. There's a big gap between bat and pad as he plays away from the body with hard hands. As he edges the ball, he pulls the bat closer back to his pads. In the second example, we can see that Stubbs has picked the fuller length and is on the front foot. In this position, he has covered his stumps. As he edges the ball behind, he once again has a gap between bat and pad. Most notably, his head is outside the line of off stump and he is once again pushing out with hard hands to a delivery he could leave. In his final example, Stubbs picks the full length and begins to move onto the front foot. Once again, he drives at a wide delivery with hard hands and his head position is a long way past the off stump. These dismissals indicate he loses his off stump and then feels the need to follow the deliveries wide of the stumps. Also, being a predominantly white ball player, he's used to getting bat on ball, and the over-eagerness to attack is causing him to chase the wide line deliveries that move away.